The next episode of The Commercial Break starts now.
Oh, it's another episode of The Commercial Break!
Yeah!
Woo-hoo! I'm Bryan Green. This is Kristen Hoadley, and
Happy holidays.
Best to you, Chrissy.
Best to you, Bryan.
And best to you out there in the podcast universe. Thanks for joining us for yet another episode of The Commercial Break. We keep making them, you keep listening to them. I don't know how that works.
Another one.
We are cat's dick away from 1 million listeners, and it's just unbelievable. I just can't believe it. I'm so excited.
I know. It's exciting.
I don't know why. It's like watching that odometer turn on your car, and I keep on watching. I'm like, 999. Just need 7 more months, and we'll be at 1 million.
Yes.
2 a day. 2 people a day listening to this show. That's
right.
Congratulations. My dad is probably one of them.
Yeah.
Cursing the day he had decided to have a child at all. Oh, poor dad. Oh, dad.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say this, and I hope that you will agree with me.
Okay. Let's see. What do you got?
When I was a child, yet a ye little boy, I grew up in a place called Chicago, Illinois. Mm-hmm. And boy, did I love living in Chicago. I mean, I like being from Chicago. It just makes me feel good about myself. I don't know why, but people from Chicago I think are cool, and Chicago's a cool town. And you know, when someone says they're from Chicago, you're like, wow, great, you from Chicago? Who knew? We grew up in that little town of Oak Forest, out a little bit outside of the actual city of Chicago, but you know, it's still Chicago. It's a suburb area. We used to listen religiously to WGN, which carried the Cubs. And the very famous broadcaster, Harry Caray.
Harry Caray, yes.
Harry Caray. I'm a Bud man. I'm a Cubs fan.
Is that what he would say?
Oh, yes. Harry was, he really made, I think, the Cubs are legendary in part because of Harry Caray.
Yeah.
The Cubs always sucked. They never spent any money on the team. They didn't even have lights until like 1997, right? So it was all day games. And, you know, people would stand on the top of the buildings behind the famous ivy-covered walls back there. And the bleachers became this very wonderful place. You had to go do a Cubs game in the bleachers, right? Because Harry Caray would sing at the end of the 7th day, take me out to the ball game.
Wasn't he drunk a lot?
He was drunk always.
Okay.
Always. He actually became a sponsor for Budweiser. Okay. And with great reason. Because he was always, I mean, listen, he had to suffer through 30 years of the Cubs losing.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
He would just get shit-faced. But he was the greatest color commentary announcer of all time, in my opinion, for baseball. And I've listened to a lot of baseball on the radio over the years. And I think part of the reason why I'm so in love with baseball on the radio is because of Harry Caray.
Sure.
And it was always on in my house. Baseball season, every single game, most of them in the afternoon, would be on somewhere in the house or my grandma's house or whatever because of Harry Caray. And one of the favorite traditions for anyone that goes to a Cubs game is hearing Harry Caray sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Yeah, that's a fun song.
Take me out. He made that song famous. Mm-hmm. So the 7th inning stretch would come, and Harry Caray would get the crowd all riled up on the loudspeaker, and he'd be like, "All right, let me hear you in the bleachers. No. 1, 2, 3. Lucky not to fall out of the actual suite, right? Take me out to the ball game. Give me another Budweiser. Take me out to the good night, sticks. You know, I mean, he was just like, he's just like a gruff, rough, old, drunk man who was singing to the crowd, these huge glasses on his face, and he was just a lovely human being. Since he passed away years ago, it's now become a tradition to have celebrities and such come up and do the 7th inning stretch, you know, the way that Harry would do it, giving their best ode to Harry. Mm-hmm. I think we've fallen way down the ladder now because yesterday or a couple of days ago fallen way down the ladder. I mean, at first it was like Eddie Vedder doing it for the World Series, you know, Bill Murray doing it a couple of times. I mean, you know, Chevy, it was just like unbelievable superstars, guys and girls that you would associate with the city of Chicago, you know, doing their best. Take me out to the ball game in honor of Harry Caray.
Nice.
Well, a couple days ago or a week ago or whenever this airs, they had Conor fucking McGregor, who I think, quite frankly, is a douche canoozle, in my personal opinion. I know he would kick my ass. I know he would, in one punch, would knock all of us out. Like, everybody in the house could line up, and one punch, he would knock us all out. I'm not arguing his fighting abilities. I'm saying he's a douche canoozle in real life. He's got that fucking whatever Jack Daniels
like he
ripoff.
is.
Yeah, he's just like running around, beating people up, screaming and yelling, just acting like a real fucking lug nut.
Yeah.
Now, he's probably got brain damage like the rest of the people who get taken hits in the head. And he's got way more money than I do. I mean, he's so more well-to-do than I am. And so I'm just a little plebe that's basically, bitching and complaining about one thing and one thing only. And this solidifies, in my opinion, the douchery that is Conor McGregor. So Conor McGregor was asked to do the 7th inning stretch. Let me give you the Harry Caray rendition first.
Okay.
Cubbies.
If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Hey! All right, you get it. Listen to that. That's like 1990 something. The
That's what it should sound like.
Yeah, that's what it should sound like. The crowd is going crazy. It's probably
Yeah.
a Tuesday afternoon in July,
Right.
and the Cubs are like, 67 games behind first place. Like, I mean, it's just like, but listen to the crowd. They are so excited about Harry Caray, and Harry's just playing it up, and he's,
It's a fun time.
fucking, soaked in whiskey, and he's just like, Now, let's hear Conor McGregor's rather underwhelming rendition of Take Me Out. By the way, these guys, they never asked 33 Penis to play.
Yeah, I know.
33 Penis never got their chance to sing Take Me Out to the Ballgame.
I mean, it's a travesty.
If you haven't associated the commercial break with Chicago yet, I'm just, hint.
What's up, Chicago? The mic is back, and so are the Cubs. Let's go, Chicago Cubs!
What the fuck do you have to do with Chicago?
I'm here with Mateo, here with Kieran. We're gonna sing the song. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. So let's root the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's go, Chicago!
Okay,
Yeah,
so
the best part about that was "Let's Go Chicago."
Yeah, the best part about that was the ending.
Exactly.
It sounded like he was like, what was that song that he was singing? That's not even the same. That's
I
not
know.
even the same. Chords. It's like I don't even know where he's going with that song. It's like he's singing A B C D E F G. Like, hey, take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. He's probably also whiskey soaked. That is the worst fucking rendition I've ever heard of that song. And I've heard some pretty bad renditions of that song. And I would vote that next time the good people at Wrigley Field, who long since changed. I mean, now Wrigley Field is like a cash cow with, $1 million apartments hanging over it.
Right.
But the good people at Wrigley Field, whoever makes these kind of decisions, thinks a little bit next time. Maybe you have somebody sing it to you before you actually invite them to come up and sing it. Or maybe you give them
That's
a
a good
couple
idea.
lessons and show them a couple Harry Caray videos and make sure they're not totally fucking tone deaf before you decide to send them up there and slaughter that song. That is sacred. It's a sacred cow, and we don't want it slaughtered. I'm just saying, as a Cubs fan, one Cubs fan to another, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
And Connor, you could have done, you settle down on the whiskey a little bit before you get up there in the 7th inning. Harry Caray was a professional drunk. I get the opinion that you're a convenient drunk. And there's a big difference. That's all I got to say. I'm moving on to the next thing.